Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. I'm your host, John Maffio. Today, Super Bowl Sunday. Who are you rooting for, Broncos or Panthers? Irrelevant. Today's movie is Hail Caesar. With a comma and exclamation point is the latest Coen Brothers feature. The Coen Brothers have directed many movies in the past, and this one stars many actors, including primarily George Clooney, Josh Brolin, Tilda Swinton, and Scarlett Johansson, among many others. The story takes place in the early days of the golden age of Hollywood, where everything was done in studios, and, studios owned actors, and it was a whole renaissance of films. George Clooney, who plays Caesar in this big Roman epic drama, is kidnapped by a couple extras. The rest, at least in my opinion, is hard to follow. But also I wouldn't want to give away more because not a fan of those. The Coen Brothers are some of the most talented people in Hollywood making films today. They wrote Bridge of Spies last year. I just saw that. If you haven't seen the video about the Oscars, go watch it. But that movie is great. I just watched No Country for Old Men for the first time. That's a fantastic movie. And I will forever have Javier Bardem haunting my nightmares forever as that character. You ever make plans with family and or friends, and you go along with these plans because in the past, with track record, these plans have gone awesomely. But this one time, plans stumble, and you're not quite having the fun time that you are used to having. But you go along with it because track record shows that you've had a great time in the past. So you're putting up with the bullshit because it might get better, even if it doesn't. That kind of describes Hail Caesar. While the acting, the cinematography, all the production values, everything there is pretty solid. But the direction of the film is lacking. It feels like it's missing something. It feels like it's not coherent or cohesive. It just feels like a string of scenes that separately, in my opinion, are really well-made scenes. But when you put them together, it's hard to explain. But it's not the most comprehensible film. I'm sitting there, enjoying the movie. I'm enjoying the performances by the actors in this really awesome time period of when silent films ended and talking films began. And there's a lot that could be done there. There's a lot of context that can be created for stories in the time where Hollywood was really progressing and changing. And I love films that take place in that time period. I do. But when the story doesn't seem like it's really going anywhere, I'm just watching every scene, and you're seeing these actors who were advertised to be in the movie as top-billed actors be in the movie for like a minute or 5 minutes most, and then disappear forever, and then they don't really tie into the story much, and then the story ends up ending on a weird note. You can't help but feel like you were disappointed. What it essentially felt like to me was that this kidnapping plot with George Clooney, that's just the main core of the story. But you have basically Josh Brolin, who is the head of a studio, running around and just interacting with directors, actors, people in his studio that are either a nuisance or creating more of a problem or even more of a problem. Nobody's helping him out. He's always encountering problems. So it just seems like a movie that's just about a studio head who is just basically going through a day or two's worth of problems that occur in a Hollywood studio on a daily basis. Is that what this was about? Or is there something with more context and more subtext here that I just wasn't getting? This may be one of those movies where you may need to watch it 1 or 2 more times after a first initial viewing to understand. But I'm going to make a call here. I don't think additional viewings will enhance the experience of Hail Caesar. I only feel like it would become more frustrating with a film like this. In the past, when I've seen movies that do require multiple viewings to get the full experience, I at least understand in the back of my mind, subconsciously, that I am missing something and I do need to watch the movie again to see it. In this film, even after looking back on it retrospectively, I don't see what a second viewing would do for me as a viewer. The Coen Brothers effortlessly make movies look and sound great. They do. But there's nothing to the plot or the story that compels me to revisit it. The biggest compliment that I could honestly give Hail Caesar is that it reminds me of how good the Coen Brothers can be when it comes to visual talent, and it also reminds me that you could go back into the timeline of Hollywood and find a lot of gems that encapsulate the time period of that, like Singing in the Rain or your Ben-Hur. Hail Caesar gives me the idea of doing a marathon of watching old classic Hollywood films from the era that this movie is being portrayed through. The story and the progressing plot are the biggest weaknesses of the movie, but I think there are redeeming values here. However, I can't forgive the story for going in a direction that didn't really do anything. 2.5 out of 5 stars. This is one of those movies where I have one of those crises of mind where I'm like, am I stupid because I didn't get the movie, or is the movie stupid because I didn't get it? But that is where the beauty of subjectivity comes into play. But yeah, if I'm being a foolish moron, please call me out in the comments down below. But I really want to know, what did you think of Hail Caesar? Did you find more enjoyment in this movie than I did, or do you agree with me? If you enjoyed this review, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and also check out my Facebook and Twitter accounts in the info box. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time. I am also wearing pajama pants. Again!